Well, you may not have guessed it, but our small college town is growing at a rapid pace. Coming up, we tell you how Greeley was recognized as a top 10 growing college city.
Plus, UNC won an unusual competition. We'll show you how our geography department swept other Colorado universities and colleges and snagged this year's trophy for the Humanitarian Mapathon. This is Bear News. Thanks for joining us for our last show of the semester. I'm Ashley Franco.
And I'm Tanner Schwint.
Well, we'll get to those stories in just a bit, but first, you've probably seen the signs around campus or gotten the email that smoking, vaping, and all tobacco products are banned on campus. But what do students think of this ban? Bear News reporter Dalton Lanick is live in the studio. He asked around, and here's what he said, and here's what he found out. Dalton?
I think most of us know about the recent ban on campus, but I wanted to figure out just what students thought about the ban.
So what are your thoughts on the vaping ban on campus?
In general, I think it's good that we're trying to make efforts to keep nicotine and vapor products out of hands of minors and stuff like that. I just think that we weren't doing anything excessive on campus already in terms of vaping, so I just think it kind of came out of nowhere in a sense. I've never seen a kid hit his vape in the middle of class and blow clouds into the air, So, and if anybody ever does, it's kind of just so I guess I'm kind of confused about why it's such a big deal in the government's eyes in that kind of sense.
I'm personally not a fan of it, but I do understand it. Smoke and vapor is something that can be a bit of a nuisance, especially when done in class or inside buildings and stuff like that. However, when it's done outside, I don't think that there really should be an issue with it.
Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper signed an executive order banning all forms of smoking and vaping on the grounds of state buildings, and that includes state university campuses. So unless Governor-elect Jared Polis decides to reverse it, it looks like this ban is here to stay.
Thanks, Dalton. We'll keep following this story and let you know if anything changes after the Polis inauguration.
There's no doubt about it, Colorado has some incredible attractions. From the mountains to the Garden of the Gods, from Rocky Mountain National Park to the plains. There's something for everyone. Well, a new report puts the University of Northern Colorado in the top 10 booming college towns in America. That's right, a 2017 study by TD Ameritrade showed that Greeley is the 9th best city for college students to stay in after graduation. The report cites not only the vast agricultural community, but the growing craft beer scene as reasons for newly graduating students to like their odds of finding a job. Greeley's population is also expected to double in the next 30 years. Some of the other cities on the list that topped Colorado were Raleigh, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas, and coming in first was, wait for it, Bismarck, North Dakota. This is the type of study that encourages graduating seniors worried about what they could be doing next. So don't stress and let Bear Country help you find your way.
Well, you hear about walkathons, run-a-thons, lots of similar activities, but a mapathon. Yes, the UNC Geography and GIS departments hosted a humanitarian mapathon. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What is that? Well, we caught up with Geography and GIS Assistant Professor Jessica Salo, and she gave us a rundown of exactly what a mapathon is.
Lots of places in the world don't have any maps. In the U.S. we have really great map data, but places like Tanzania that we're mapping today don't have any information about where their roads are, where there's buildings. So if they need to respond to a humanitarian crisis, whether that's a flood or some other type of disaster or violence, they don't know where the people are living, so they don't know where to go to look for people to help. So today we're mapping buildings in Tanzania so that organizations know where people are likely living and they can deal with some of the social issues they're facing.
So now you know, and a big thanks to students, staff, and faculty who helped UNC win bragging rights in the semester's Mapathon. As the semester comes to an end, UNC's Marcus Garvey Cultural Center, along with the African Students United organization, celebrated Africa. They called the event Taste of Africa. It started late on Saturday, November 17th in the Michener Library Lindo Auditorium. The snow outside didn't stop people from showing up. It was truly a great atmosphere for all who attended the event. The event featured performances of all kinds, including dancing, singing, poetry, and fashion shows. The Taste of Africa event is one of many events at UNC that feature different cultures. Check out UNC's calendar for the next event at Greeley at greeleycalendar.com.
It's time to get a first check at your weather forecast with meteorologist Abigail Stewart. Winter is coming quickly, and there's no doubt that weather has reflected that lately. How's it looking out there right now?
Right now on campus, 46 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Along the Front Range, we're seeing temperatures near freezing with freezing temperatures in the mountains. Now, in Colorado, we've not got much precipitation, but we do have quite a few storms in California and Nevada. The ones in California are producing flood warnings and also winter storm warnings. Here in Colorado, we're looking at winter weather advisories along the western slope of the mountain. Now, in case you didn't know, our UNC meteorology program went last weekend down to Denver with Stacy Donaldson and Mike Nelson in order to do a volunteer phone bank where they answered calls from people around Colorado who were traveling for the weekend and were able to give them personalized weather forecasts for wherever they were going or whatever they were doing during Thanksgiving. I'll have more on the snow expected in our forecast after this.
Thanks, Abigail. Throughout the course of the semester, I've met some pretty cool business owners and some even cooler connections to the university. Today, we take a look back and recap our journey around downtown Greeley. What are you doing? What are you doing, Tim? Are we done? No? One last show? All right. Well, thanks for joining us throughout the course of this semester for the Bear News Downtown Business segment. We've caught up with some incredible businesses, some incredible business owners. Stuffed Burger, for example, some of the best burgers you'll be able to get in town. Tower 56, the new kids on the block, the best drinks that they are providing for downtown Greeley. We talked about Doug's Hang Up right across the way, and their artwork, it is just so good that I've got a piece of it in my office as well. And cannot forget about Zoe's Cafe and Events, the great coffee, the coffee that makes the world go around. Now, we did only get a chance to get to a couple of these businesses. We tried our best, but there are some businesses down here that really are doing the same thing. They're putting in that hard work. We talk about Luna's Tacos and Tequilas. What better combination is there than that? We talk about Florio's, the shoe shop that is down here as well as the Crest Theater. Downtown Greeley really is starting to become the hub of activity. So UNC college students, don't take it for granted. Make sure you're coming down here and checking out places like Accessories with a Flair and Hair and Helen's and the rest of the great businesses in downtown Greeley. For Timothy Page, I want to give him a shout out. My camera guy, he's made me look decent all year long, and I'm being decent because he's done his best, but you can only do so much with this. So thanks, Tim, for everything that you've done throughout the course of this semester. I'll be back with you next semester, but this will do it for the Downtown Business segment for Bear News. So many different and unique stories come along with the many stores and businesses downtown. It's these types of stories that truly make Greeley unexpected.
Take an English class and you might see a pair of hands at work, and not just with a pencil. Bear News reporter Jason Keller tells us about the fastest Rubik's Cuber on West Campus.
There's a reason Huber rhymes with Cuber. Junior English major Austin Huber has been cubing, that's solving Rubik's Cube for speed, since he was 11.
Well, I was around 11 when I was kind of introduced to cubes, and then I didn't really pick it up as, you know, I sort of believed how everyone else does, that it's sort of an enigma and only really smart people can solve it. But then I was like 20 and I actually went and bought one again and just learned how to solve it. It didn't take me that long and I've just gotten a lot faster since then.
The world of competitive cubing, Huber says, is, you guessed it, complex. There are world champions, like Felix Zemdegs, who holds 2 world records, one for solving a cube in 5 seconds, and the other for solving a complex cube one-handed in 6 seconds. Huber says his fastest comparable time is 15.67 seconds. So I asked him to demonstrate for us. Huber says that anyone can learn to solve a cube. The speed of solving a cube is all reliant on finding certain algorithms or repeatable patterns that have a solution. The solution being a solved Rubik's Cube.
All right, so Austin,
I asked him to let me give it a try. After all, he makes it look easy.
Give it a try. I've got 15 seconds, which is Austin's best. Ready? All right. Oh God, that didn't go anywhere.
So it's not as easy as it looks to solve a Rubik's Cube. But then again, I've never been good at puzzles.
Well, coming up after the break, we'll hear from meteorologist Abigail Stewart with your full weather forecast.
She'll give us a look at what the weather will bring during finals week and when the next possible chance for snow might be. Stay with us.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Abigail Stewart. Right now we've got a stationary front sitting along the Front Range of Colorado. We've also got 3 low pressure systems sitting in Utah, Nevada, and California, which are helping bring some rain and snow to those regions. Now, on Friday morning, we're expecting a low pressure system to develop in the southern Colorado, which is going to help bring that snow to the Colorado Rocky Mountains. That snow lingers through Saturday. Now, most of that snow is going to stay in the mountains. We are seeing a slight chance of some rain along I-25 Friday afternoon, where temperatures will be slightly above freezing. Now, in terms of our snow forecast, we're looking at snow totals being highest in the mountains. There are only trace amounts of rain expected for Greeley and in neighboring counties. Now, for Friday morning, we're expecting temperatures at 8 a.m. of around 30 degrees, warming up to 38 by noon. We are expected to see a 30% chance of some snow showers at 10 a.m., moving over to some rain showers by noon. Now, Friday and Saturday are expected to be the warmest of our 7-day forecast. On Sunday, we cool down to 33, and we keep that trend in the 30s through Thursday. Back to you.
Thanks, Abigail. Well, this was Abigail's last show as well. We're excited to see where her future takes us. She's been with Bear News for a very long time.
No, it was great. We had a great plethora of meteorologists this semester, and we're excited to see who will be coming up and taking and filling those shoes in the near future. But no doubt about it, Abigail did a great job for us.
Absolutely. Well, just when we thought the season was over, the women's volleyball team is headed back out on the court to compete in the National Invitational Volleyball Championship.
And as we talked about last week, the football team season didn't exactly wow us this year, but a recent announcement made it official that Ernest Collins Jr. will keep his spot as UNC's head football coach. Ben Shoemate will have all the highlights coming up in sports.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry. I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The UNC volleyball team won their final home game for seniors Courtney Lockie, Kayla Wymera, and Brittany Lawrence, and went into the Big Sky tournament as the 6th seed. And as Bear News reporter Trevor Sherman tells us, the Bears looked promising going into the NIVC tournament at the end of the month.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was our passing, and then Daisy just was able to find it. But our big thing is you can't really set the middle if your passing's not there. So obviously our passing was just on it tonight.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we started in her rotation for a specific matchup. So, yeah, I mean, size had a lot to do with it, that she was just over them several times. So then as they reached, she got a lot of tools as they were trying to stop her. So, yeah, I like that she continues to improve. In the last month, she's really making big gains and hopefully can continue to do so through the remainder of the season.
The UNC volleyball team fell just short in the Big Sky tournament, but with talented upperclassmen Brittany Lawrence, Courtney Lockie, and Taylor Ells, the Bears could make a deep run in the NIVC tournament.
I thought the biggest thing was our serving. I thought we served very tough tonight, and we had talked about that going into Scout, that we would need to serve tough this whole tournament, and we did that tonight. Pretty low air for as tough as we were serving, which took them a little bit out of rhythm to slow down their offense, because that's what we've had a hard time stopping the first two times, is a pretty balanced offense. They have two middles that can score. Their right side, Hale, I mean, they have 4 kids who can just keep bringing it at you and are a tough matchup for us. So we knew we needed to serve tough. And we liked that we got to match up with Weber after the way the 2 first matches played out against them. A tough 5th set with some questionable calls and just a tough loss at their place. 4 match points at our place. When we saw we were matched up with them, our girls were excited to have that team again and be able to finish on this team, which we weren't able to do the first 2 times, because this is a very good team.
I think the most important part is that we really came out as a team and we played really fearless, which is something that we've been looking for the past couple weeks, and playing with courage and just not going out there and beating ourselves.
For Bear News, I'm Trevor Sherman.
If the Bears win their first round matchup against Portland University, they play the winner of Wyoming and Utah Valley tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. in Laramie, Wyoming. It's been bombs away this season for the University of Northern Colorado men's basketball team. The Bears are averaging 33-point attempts per game early this year, including a season-high 49 in an exhibition win over Colorado Christian. But the number of threes the Bears are shooting isn't what's surprising, it's the number that are going in. UNC has shot over 44% from beyond the arc through 6 games. Junior transfer Trent Harris is shooting a ridiculous 56% from deep, paced by a 33-point game against Colorado College, in which he set the UNC Division I record with 11 three-pointers made. Even senior point guard Jordan Davis has shown improvement from three-point range, making 9 of 18 attempts so far after shooting under 25% last year. This Bears team has adopted a shoot-if-you're-open mentality this season, and it doesn't appear to be going anywhere anytime soon. UNC women's basketball team has been on a bit of a hot streak after dropping their first 2 games against CU and LSU. The Bears won their past 4 games, but as Bear News reporter Trevor Sherman tells us, they're still working out the kinks.
The Bears' 3-game winning streak was snapped last night with a loss to Air Force, but the Bears can look to rebound against SMU on Saturday.
Overall, I thought we really used our experience from the first 2 games and did some things defensively that I thought were great. I thought the rebounding margin was exactly what I want it to be. Definitely clearing the glass is going to be a big key for us this year, especially having bigs inside that are productive and getting double-doubles. So that was huge. I also thought we defended the 3-point line relatively well tonight as well, and that was something we wanted to take away, their transition baskets. Overall, Crystal just getting into that scoring mentality, and I've really challenged her in the offseason to be more of a scorer for us, as well as a facilitator, because it helps her passing if she can score. And then I just thought it was a great, well-rounded team effort.
Crystal Ledger-Walker led the team with 22 points.
So I just really put credit to my team in getting me the ball in the right spots and just running through our plays effectively. And then, just people like Seb, like they're shutting her down, obviously, and then things just opened up for me.
It was huge. I mean, that was one of our keys of the game, was to be in the positives on the rebounds, and I think we really locked into that. It was our main focus for sure.
Yeah, and especially going for O-boards, we had a goal to get 40% of our missed shots, and I think we actually ended up getting that, so it's great.
For Bear News, I'm Trevor Sherman.
The Bears look to continue to improve against Southern Methodist University tomorrow in Greeley at 7 p.m. The Colorado Avalanche welcomed the defending champions into town on the 16th. They fought hard all the way, but unfortunately the Washington Capitals capitalized in overtime for the win, as the Avs lost 3-2. They then hit the road to California to face the Anaheim Ducks, Sunday the 18th. That game also stretched into overtime, but this time the outcome was different, as NHL points leader Mikko Rantanen got the game-winning goal, and the Avs left Anaheim with a 4-3 win. The Avalanche stayed on the road, making their way into Hollywood to face off against the Kings. Finally, the Avalanche were able to beat a team in regulation. They had 7 different players put a puck in the back of the net. The Avs left Hollywood off to a 7-3 win. They stayed on the road, moving down towards the desert of Arizona. The Coyotes tried to stop the Avs' hot streak, but were unsuccessful, as JT Compher was the star of the night, putting 2 shorthanded goals in the back of the net. The Avalanche easily skid past the Coyotes, winning 5-1. The Avs finally came back home after a 3-game road trip to face off against the Dallas Stars. The Stars scared the Avs after adding 2 quick third-period goals to take the lead, but again, JT Compher and Gabriel Landeskog weren't going to let the Stars off that easily. The Avs set the Stars packing, adding another win. The final was 3-2. Tuesday night, the Avs traveled to Nashville hoping to continue the win streak against the Predators. And that is what they did when Nathan MacKinnon put 2 of the Avs' 3 goals in the back of the net, leading the team to a 3-2 win. And last night, the Avs hosted Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hopefully the team would have the same outcome as the Broncos did against the Steelers, and win they did. And they continued their win streak as the Avs skated past the Penguins, putting 6 in the net. The Avs are now on a 6-game win streak after a 6-2-3 win over the Penguins. It's not just the team that's streaking, though. Mikko Rantanen is leading the league in total points with 40. Nathan MacKinnon is right there behind him, adding 37 of his own. Next up, the Avs host the St. Louis Blues tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And the future of the University of Northern Colorado football team is here. And he was here last year, too, and has been here since 2011. UNC Athletics Director Darren Dunn and President Andy Feinstein announced that after a thorough review of the football program, Ernest Collins Jr. will continue to be the head coach for the Bears. Collins took over in 2011, and that season he led the team to an 0-11 record. In his career with the Bears, he has amassed a record of 26 wins and 62 losses. Last season's 2-9 record is the team's third worst record, and third worst record since having Coach Collins at the helm. The team went 1-11 in 2013. The best record for the team was 6-5, a feat they accomplished twice in 2015 and 2016. But it's not the athletic performance that's keeping Collins around, it's the academic one. This season, the Bears had the best graduation success rate of any other team in the Big Sky Conference with 84%, and they have 12 students studying for a second degree. The 2017 team had a cumulative GPA of 2.94 compared to the 2.8 average the rest of the football championship division series had. And while the next season for the Bears will remain a surprise till kickoff, one thing is for certain, we'll have a familiar face on the sidelines.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or indifferent. But speaking of familiar faces, we will be losing one of ours after this semester. One of the people that I have learned a great deal from throughout the course of this semester, a true professional, someone that's been there thick and thin with Bear News. She puts the show together for us. She's taught me just about everything that I know up here, and she's somebody that I will continue to draw on for advice going forward, and just the incredible amounts of knowledge that she has about this. And we very much look forward to seeing what she does in the near future. And of course, I'm speaking of Ashley Franco. I want to say thank you for letting me share this desk with you. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege, and good luck to you going forward. I'm sure you've got bright things ahead of you. So on behalf of all of Bear News, thank you very much.
Absolutely. I have loved the past 3 years here. It has been my home, and every single one of you has just let me in with an open heart, and I'm so excited to see what you guys have. I'm going to pass the baton over to Ben next semester, and I know he's going to do great things.
Well, thank you so much. No,
go ahead.
Can I say something? Because she's important to me, too. Just thank you so much. Again, you've taught me so much. The little bit of time that we've had here together, and just thank you for that. And I know you do awesome stuff.
The biggest thing I'm going to miss, I'm not going to be the tallest one on the desk anymore. No, but for everyone that is graduating from Bear News, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the camera that makes people like us look good. Thank you so much. Thanks for sticking with us this entire semester. And remember, Bear News is your on-campus source for all things UNC.
As I sign off for the very last time, I want to thank all of you so much for joining us. Have a very, very safe winter break, and we will see you back here next semester.